So this is part 3 of how to get set up for glacier travel. So now we're going to tie into our rope using the figure 8 on a bight that we tied a moment ago when we were setting that rope up, some carabiners, and a prusik. So first I'm going to attach myself to the rope with a locking carabiner through the blade loop of my harness. Next, I'm going to take one of my long pieces of cord. I'm going to leave it in a bundle. I have to unwrap it so that I can tie my prusik, but I'm going to leave it in a bundle because that makes it easier to do. Take the section of rope that leads to the climber ahead of me. If you're the first or last climber, just make sure it's not going to your coil. So if you're the first climber, this means it'll actually be going to the person behind you. If you're the last climber, it goes ahead of you like it does for everyone else. So just make sure it's not going to your coil. Then you're going to take your cord and tie a prusik hitch onto the rope. So a prusik hitch is wrapping around 1, 2, 3 times, and then we can let that bundle go. We'll pretty it up here in a moment. Remember, a good knot is a pretty knot, so let's make sure this prusik looks good. There we go. Take some time to make it look right. Excellent. And then I'm going to slide it down near my knot. So it's going to sit just above my figure 8. I'm going to go to the end of my cord. I'm going to offset them from each other slightly, and then tie a flat overhand bend to close the loop. Making sure that I tighten it in all its directions. Now I just have to do something with all this. Some people like to just put it in a pocket. I like to give it a quick daisy chain. But before I do that, I need to take another locking carabiner, clip it to my belay loop, clip the prusik through it, and now I can make this into a nice little daisy chain, or I can just stuff it in a pocket, whatever you would like to do to just keep it out of the way so you don't trip on it. You just want to make sure that you're not tying it off. To check and make sure that we've given ourselves enough space with our prusik, we have to make sure that in the event of a fall, the knot catches our weight, not our prusik. So give it a tug. So here we can see it's pulling on my prusik cord while the knot is still loose, which means I didn't give it enough space, so I could slide it down. Or I could redo my daisy chain down here. I'm going to choose to redo my daisy chain. Maybe start it about there. A daisy chain is a series of overhand knots that don't get completely tied. So they just kind of stop like that, and it can come undone with a quick pull. Stick that in my pocket. And there we go. My knot will take the weight and not my prusik cord. Then all I need to do is to put my ice axe into this same locking carabiner that my prusik is in. We would buddy check each other, so make sure my harness is double backed and my carabiners are locked. And now we are tied into the rope. If you're the first or last climber, you need to do a mountaineer's coil, which will be coming up in part 4 of the video series.